Hi everyone, welcome to an overview of our game FIFO From, a game for 2 to 5 players with an expected playtime of 60 minutes. Set in the not too distant future, we humans have finally done it. We wrecked the Earth and made it completely unsuitable for life. Nice job! Luckily for us, a group of aliens has showed up and have agreed to get us off of the planet. Of course, they're really only doing this to showcase their brilliance in administrative efficiency and crisis management. Each player represents one of these alien factions who's aiming to earn the most influence points by evacuating humans from Earth, maintaining a high rating, earning endgame medals, and completing hidden objectives. The player with the most influence wins the game. Let's dive into how the game flows. The game revolves around the evacuation board, which simulates the crowd of humans swarming towards the last exit left on the planet, namely the warp portal. On either side, we have the action and reset mats. Instead of rounds or phases, play continues as a series of action and reset turns. On an action turn, a player may play workers from their pool to the action mat to perform the respective actions. These include options such as evacuate or riot to get humans off the planet, swap or heal to manipulate the evacuation area, or media for the more objective-oriented player. Following this, the player with the reset marker takes a reset turn, where they are responsible for the logistics within the queue, and may also return used workers back to the play area. On both the action and the reset turns, players must wisely combo their activities in order to complete hidden objectives, which can include evacuation goals, camera shots of the foolish humans, or administrative excellence. Once an action and a reset turn have been completed, both markers rotate clockwise and play continues until all of the evacuees have been evacuated or a player completes 5 objectives. Now that we've covered the core gameplay, let's take a look at a few key aspects that we really enjoy about this game, starting with FIFO. In order to ensure fairness within the evacuation procedure, the aliens must ensure that they are evacuating the humans on a first in, first out or FIFO basis. This is done by tracking 3 states or priorities for each piece: untapped, tapped, and injured. When deciding between priorities, injured and untapped pieces have the highest priority, while tapped pieces have the lowest priority as they originate from further back in the queue. When a piece moves forward into a non-empty row, it must tap, but it must also continue moving forward if space is available. And thus we can see that in this situation, the action player has effectively created a FIFO trap for the reset player. In general, FIFO constrains the queue, but also allows for opportunities to tactically impact the other players. The second aspect of the game that we really enjoy is that there's not much downtime to speak of. This is primarily due to the reset turn, which allows players to play twice as often as they would in a conventional round, giving them greater agency and involvement throughout the course of the game. Furthermore, the reset also provides a way for players to interact with other opponents. For instance, they may choose to poach an opponent worker, but at the same time, they may also choose to reset opponent workers, and in doing so, highlight their teamwork. Thus, there are opportunities for cooperation and negotiation, even in the midst of this cutthroat competitive environment. And lastly, we want to highlight the thematic binding within this game, where we've tried to replicate how the world might look in the event of a disaster. For instance, the 4 evacuee types represent characteristics such as herd mentality and survival of the fittest. In addition, players also have agency to commit to morally good or bad decisions across the course of the game, but do see the consequences of these decisions, which is tracked by the rating tracker. For instance, a player may get penalties for committing actions such as negligence with children or breaking FIFO, but at the same time, they are also rewarded for their good activities such as healing or teamwork. In doing so, we want to provide a compelling knit between storyline and mechanics throughout the course of the game to make for a great gameplay experience from start to end. Thanks so much for your attention, and we hope you enjoy playing FIFO From.